first of all, I'm going to have to just check with the room, because this is, despite the fact that I've been speaking in ways that are political, I hope I've been speaking in ways that are mostly nonpartisan. So if I answer this question, I have to answer it as leader of the Green Party and tell you about green stuff. Is that okay with everyone, or is anyone uncomfortable with that? Because this is a nonpartisan meeting. Okay. Well, all right, so the Green Party, number one, we're going to the next election try to promote cooperation. So the fact that I've been told no a few times doesn't mean that we'll give up. And the other, the goal we have, and it's ambitious, but boy, it would really, I think it could really change Parliament if we pull this off, would be to elect 12 Green MPs so that we have official party status and we're able to ask a question every day, question period, instead of one question a week. And if when we're dreaming in Technicolor, we'd have a coalition government where Greens have the balance of power, or we'd have a substantial influence over whoever's in power, coming from Green MPs. And we have a lot of support in different pockets across Canada. It used to be that sort of we were evenly distributed everywhere. We have a lot of support, obviously, in the Gulf Islands and southern Vancouver Island. That's why Andrew Weaver's the first elected Green MLA anywhere in Canada. Really hoping that we'll have such exemplary candidates. I mean, I'm able to offer top-notch people something that no other party can offer them, which is that they'll never compromise their integrity. Yeah. They can be their own person, they can stand on their own 2 feet, they can speak what they believe to be the best policy for Canada, and never have to worry that they'll have a whip, or me, or anyone telling them what to do or say. So the one thing we can offer, because we don't have power and we don't have money, is to say, help us rescue democracy, get elected as a Green, and then you're your own person. And you can help us prove, I can't prove to the other parties or to Canadians that Greens aren't whipped in their votes when it's only me, obviously, right? Yeah, they all love teasing me, because every Wednesday morning all the other parties have their caucus meetings. On Wednesdays, Parliament starts at 2. The rest of the week, Mondays we start at 11, Tuesdays we start at 10, Thursdays we start at 10, Fridays we start at 10 a.m. But Wednesdays we start at 2 to provide time for all the other parties to have their caucus meetings. And they always love saying to me when they rang, "How was your caucus meeting? Tough? A lot of dissension? They just love teasing me." So, but I can't wait to have a large and unruly caucus where we can, oh, well, we're going to have to focus our resources on some ridings more than others. And we're going to have candidates who are extremely well-known and respected people, ideally, whose names are known, like whether they've come from being a mayor of somewhere, or they've already served something, or they come from arts, or like Georges Larac right now, my deputy leader. Georges Larac is running in Bourassa in Quebec. And Georges Larac is mobbed on the streets by people who want his autograph. I can promise you, they're not mobbing him on the street to get his autograph because he's the Green Party candidate in the Bourassa by-election. They're mobbing him, if you've never heard of him, because he was with the Edmonton Oilers and the Canadiens, and he's a former NHL hockey player. He was I think, if not the first, one of the first black NHL hockey players. He's Canadian by birth, but his parents are Haitian. And when Georges Larac walks down the street, there's people rushing up to get his autograph, to have their picture taken with him. But he's actually a very dedicated, he's been my deputy leader for 3 years, deputy leader of the Federal Green Party. So just to say, okay, so if anyone had asked us, how are we polling in Quebec? Really badly. Do we have any great strength in Quebec? No. Not so much. Does anyone know us in Quebec? Non, qu'est-ce que c'est le Parti Vert? But Georges is a substantial candidate, and volunteers are flooding into the office. And if we can pull it off, I won't be by myself anymore. Yeah, and that would be pretty nice, because sometimes I need a bathroom break.
So who's on George?
Georges came to us.
Okay, so
He loved the Greens.
Yeah.
He joined the Green Party in February of, what was it, 2010?
About that.
Yeah. And we worked, I met him, and I hate to admit it, but I don't know anything about hockey. And so I didn't know he was a big famous hockey player. But all the Montreal Greens were all over the moon about the fact that a former Habs player was becoming a Green. And so when I met him and we started talking, and we had a vacancy because we usually have two deputy, well, under the Constitution of the Greens, there's two deputy leaders.